Hi, Haley. This is Bridget Ryan. I have to say it's nice to finally put a voice with somebody you've emailed back and forth with and worked with. Um, I want to say that I did enjoy working on this project with you together, and I think that we worked really well together. Um, I appreciate that you kind of took the lead by contacting me first through email and then also kind of giving us like a scope and sequence of how when you would be ready and where I was trying to make sure that I wasn't holding you back by any way, shape, or form. I appreciate that you went ahead and, created the document for us and then went ahead and, started your section. And you wrote a pretty good opening paragraph that I think, like you said, I helped edit with our opening statement, but initially you came up with a lot of the main ideas and I just kind of helped edit them and make sure that they sounded great together. I was going back through this after I watched your screencast and saw that you added a heading right here. And I think that that's a good idea as well. One of those things that I think we've learned through APA is, and just writing in general, is that we tend to make our paragraphs just go paragraph, paragraph, paragraph. And it's nice to kind of break them up and give headings so that people can kind of say, okay, well, this is their next subtopic and this is what I should expect from that area. Within your section, I thought your first sentence in your first paragraph was really good. You kind of laid out exactly what you were going to talk about. You said, we're going to promote communication, critical thinking, problem solving skills in your young learners. And you also talked about how you wanted to motivate your students and engage them with their peers, which is such an important part of collaboration. Next, in their second paragraph, you actually found a great quote to go along with what you were talking about. You found research, and I think that's one of the biggest things too, is that we have to sometimes go through and find the research that backs up everything that we have been taught or that we're talking about or we're using in our classrooms. I really like how you use project-based learning in your classroom, and I agree that it works well with the constructivism approach, and I think you did a great job of explaining that within your section here as well. I also really liked reading about some of the projects that you do with your students. I mean, I think it's cool that they make a space center, a juice shop, a bakery, and a clothing shop. I'd really think it would be neat to kind of see how you implement that and teach it to your students, as well as how it plays out. I agree that you're right. Pre-writing and writing become a big thing, especially I would say with project-based assignments, as well as I think you wrote in here that part of collaboration is these students have to learn to work together. And so I think it's cool that they have to vote on something and then they're responsible within their groups of delegating and negotiating. That's something that I think students really need to learn how to do because, as I tell my students all the time, they need to be able to get along with everybody because they might not like everybody, but, they have to be able to at least work with them, especially as they get older. I also really liked how near the end of your section, you brought in another quote using research to kind of show what, just to kind of wrap up all your thoughts and everything that you do in your classroom. Lastly, thank you for all the ideas you gave me with mine, with my section. I appreciate that, and I think it's good to kind of bounce ideas off one another, and I think that's a good thing with our collaboration here. And lastly, I want to say thank you for kind of helping wrap up our assignment. I know you started it off and then I kind of added my piece to it. And then by the end, I wasn't really sure how to conclude it. And you wrote a really great conclusion to kind of help us wrap everything up. Once again, I want to thank you for doing this project together. I think that we worked really well together and hopefully we can both gain many insightful ideas that we'll be able to use in our own classrooms.